The appendix and appendectomy. Welcome to this complete overview of the vermiform appendix, its function in the human body, appendicitis, and the consequences of its surgical removal. Modern science has revealed that the appendix plays a role in our immune system and intestinal health. Subscribe, comment, Integrative Medicine, Soledad del Prado. How does the appendix work? The appendix is a finger-shaped tubular structure located in the lower right part of the abdomen, attached to the cecum, which is the first part of the large intestine. It usually measures between 5 and 10 centimeters in length and has a diameter of approximately 6 millimeters. Its position may vary: retrocecal, behind the cecum, the most common, 74% of cases; pelvic, toward the pelvis, 21%. Subcecal, below the cecum, pre-ileal or post-ileal, in front of or behind the ileum. Immunological function, located in the lower right abdomen and attached to the cecum. The appendix is a fundamental component of GALT, gut-associated lymphoid tissue. It contains abundant lymphoid tissue, lymphoid follicles similar to lymph nodes, B and T lymphocytes, plasma cells, NK, natural killer cells, production of immunoglobulin A, IgA. The appendix produces large amounts of secretory IgA, the main antibody that protects intestinal mucosa, neutralizes pathogens, bacteria, viruses, toxins, prevents harmful microorganisms from adhering to the intestinal wall, regulates bacterial populations without eliminating them completely, maintains homeostasis between the host and microbiota. The appendix acts as a training center where the immune system learns to distinguish between beneficial bacteria and pathogens, develop tolerance to food antigens, mount appropriate immune responses, function as a microbial reservoir. Its blind sac shape with a narrow lumen protects these bacteria from being expelled during episodes of acute diarrhea, intestinal recolonization after severe gastrointestinal infections, antibiotic treatments, episodes of dysbiosis. The appendix releases beneficial bacteria to repopulate the colon. Studies have shown that the appendix microbiota is different and more diverse than that of the colon. It contains specific beneficial bacterial strains. It produces IgA that regulates and protects this microbiota. These beneficial bacteria continue stimulating the immune system. This system creates a self-regulated ecosystem that contributes to prevention of recurrent infections, maintenance of intestinal homeostasis. What is appendicitis? Appendicitis is inflammation of the appendix, generally caused by obstruction of the appendiceal lumen, most common cause. Everything starts with a blockage inside the appendix. From there, things escalate quickly. The outlet becomes blocked. Right pointing arrow. The appendix turns into a closed pouch. Causes include hardened stool, fecaliths, lymphoid hyperplasia, response to infections, foreign bodies, tumors, rare, parasites, direct infection, ischemia, lack of blood supply. When the appendix becomes obstructed, mucus accumulates inside, intraluminal pressure increases, blood flow is compromised. Bacteria proliferate, inflammation, ischemia, and possible necrosis occur. It can progress to perforation within 24 to 72 hours. Symptoms of appendicitis: characteristic abdominal pain, dull periumbilical or epigastric pain, migration. Within 4 to 6 hours, pain shifts to the right iliac fossa, becomes sharper and constant, increases with movement, coughing, or sneezing. Gastrointestinal symptoms: anorexia, loss of appetite, present in 80% of cases, nausea, usually after pain begins, vomiting, 1 to 2 episodes, not severe, constipation or diarrhea, less common. Other signs: low-grade fever, 37.5 to 38.5 degrees Celsius, high fever suggests perforation, general malaise, mild tachycardia. Physical examination findings: pain on palpation in the right iliac fossa, rebound tenderness, involuntary abdominal muscle contraction, abdominal rigidity in advanced cases, pain in the right side when pressing the left, Rofsing sign, psoas sign, pain when extending the right hip, retrocecal appendix, obturator sign, pain with internal rotation of flexed hip, pelvic appendix, pain in epigastric or precordial region, pain at McBurney's points. If untreated, right pointing arrow rupture. The appendix may burst, infection spreads into the abdomen, peritonitis. This is a serious medical emergency. Myths: it's caused by eating seeds, right pointing arrow false. It's directly caused by poor diet, right pointing arrow not exactly. It can heal on its own. Right pointing arrow dangerous. Why does it happen to some people? Imbalanced intestinal microbiota, slow intestinal transit, constipation. Reactive intestinal immune system, genetic factors. It's a combination, not a single cause. Summary: it starts with blockage, then infection, then inflammation. If untreated, right pointing arrow rupture. The appendix is not useless, it plays an important role in intestinal immunity and microbiota balance. What happens after appendectomy? The body compensates quickly. It is not a vital organ. The intestine continues functioning normally. It does not directly affect digestion. Most people live without noticing anything. But there are changes, microbiota changes, loss of bacterial reservoir, greater tendency to imbalance, more sensitive digestion in some individuals, immune influence, less local lymphoid tissue, slight impact on intestinal immune response, long-term risks, rare, possible higher risk of intestinal infections, changes in inflammatory bowel conditions. This does not mean it will happen, only that the appendix had a function. Possible symptoms after surgery: bloating and gas, slower digestion initially, sensitivity to certain foods, usually temporary, but diet matters. How to support the body: natural probiotics, kefir, sauerkraut, prebiotic fiber, garlic, onion, oats. Avoid excess ultra-processed foods, digestive plants, chamomile, fennel, ginger. Final message: you can live perfectly without an appendix. It does not affect vital functions, but it did play a role in microbiota and intestinal defense. How to eat without an appendix: daily essentials, soluble fiber, right pointing arrow oats, apple, carrot, cooked vegetables, right pointing arrow better at first, clean protein, right pointing arrow fish, eggs, well cooked legumes. Healthy fats, right pointing arrow olive oil, seeds, for digestion, fennel, right pointing arrow reduces gas, mint, right pointing arrow relieves spasms, chamomile, right pointing arrow mild anti-inflammatory, for microbiota, garlic, onion, leek, right pointing arrow feed good bacteria. Let food be your medicine, and medicine your food. Tell me how you eat, and I will tell you what diseases you are prone to. Remember, the gut and the brain are connected.